Today, I'm in Madrid's Adolfo Suárez airport, about to hop on an Iberia A330 business class to JFK in New York. Iberia doesn't normally get the same accolades as Emirates or Qatar or Singapore Airlines, but the redemption I got on this flight is really good. Does Iberia's business class product stack up? Is this the best deal you can get flying from Europe to the US right now? Let's see. I'm not going to check in, I already checked it online, I just have a carry-on. Just gonna go straight to the gate, but the line is very short. It's obviously, I think it's the hub for Iberia. With a business class ticket, you get access to the fast track line, so that's pretty nice. And the normal security line is pretty long right now, even though it's 9:30 in the morning, so that's a pretty big perk. It was really easy. It makes the TSA pre-check or clear look like a super long walk to the park. There are 3 people there. They don't make you take stuff out of your bag, which is unique in Europe from my experience. So now I gotta get to Terminal 4S, which is the satellite terminal, kind of a bit to get to.
It takes a couple minutes to get down to the train and then a couple minutes on the train. Overall, I'd say it takes about 10-15 minutes from security getting to Terminal 4S. Finding the entrance to the Iberia Lounge is a bit tricky as you need to go through the duty-free and you'll see a big red area, and on your left, that is the Iberia Lounge. Business class passengers on Iberia leaving Madrid internationally get access to the Velázquez Lounge in Terminal 4S. It is 2,500 square meters or 26,000 square feet and has a capacity for 500 travelers. The space is spread out with 2 mirrored sections. To your left when you enter is a wide range of seating with views onto the apron area outside. Continuing, you'll run into the very large food and drink area. These 2 long counters are for buffet food. As I was in the lounge area at about 10 a.m., it was just light breakfast fare. There was also a counter off to the side with some additional food and drinks. Continuing left, after another row of seating, is Iberia's unique lounge feature, Dine. This space was closed for breakfast, but it is a fully sit-down, restaurant-like dining experience. I've heard nice things about it in other videos, but wasn't able to experience it personally. So there's a nice little area next to the dining space, which is closed right now, that I think is actually the best for plane spotting. It's kind of out of the way. It doesn't have the nice Iberia branded chair colors, but much quieter, less busy, and a really nice view of the planes. To the right of the entranceway was another buffet bar, mirroring the one on the left. At the far end is a bar, which was closed in the morning. Additionally, this area had some additional closed-off seating, a kids area, and showers. On top of all the food options, there are not 1, not 2, but 3 separate standalone coffee bars. Great for when you need a quick cafe con leche on a short layover. But how was the food? Given the limited menu for early morning, I'd say the food was just fine. I had some hash browns, eggs, and plenty of liquids. As I was leaving, I noticed they brought out the late morning lunch food. I didn't get a chance, but it looked way more interesting and substantial than what I got.
So my opinion about the lounge is kind of backhanded. I think it's not one of the best lounges in Madrid. It's a little bit unfair because early in the morning, pretty basic food, but the other lounges in Madrid are actually really nice. I'd be really curious to come back to Iberia's when they have dining service, not a buffet. Nice lounge, but not like blown away. This might be a stupid thing to complain about, but they say, because it's a US bound flight, get the gate at least 2 hours early, which is insane. They just look at your passport and like stamp something. It takes, to me, 1-2 minutes. Maybe if it's really busy, it would take you 15-20, but there's no reason to be here 2 hours early.
As a business class passenger, I, of course, got to board in the first group. After a short walk down the jetway, I arrived at my seat. After a few minutes of settling in, I was greeted by the purser and offered a pre-departure cava drink. Cava is Spain's answer to champagne, and it was absolutely delicious. Today's flight was scheduled for 8 hours and 34 minutes. It would fly 3,580 miles across the Atlantic to our destination of John F. Kennedy International Airport in New York City, New York.
Now that we're in the sky, I'm going to take this chance to do a little seat tour. Overall, very nicely sized seat. It's definitely a little more on the dated side, but very comfortable. I think sometimes actually the fact that it's worn in makes it more comfortable. Got the nice headrest. So the layout of the business class on the A330 is a 1-2-1, and
kind of uniquely, it is alternating on the window sides. So I'm in 2A, which means I have a window seat. The person in front of me actually is separate from the window. I'd reached this before, so I knew that that was the case, and I made sure to find the good seat because it makes a big difference. It also means you're not on the aisle, which is kind of a big downside. If you're on that side, make sure you can look at that.
First, this is the seat well for the bed is out. Lots of bedding. This is for your shoes. I have my jacket there right now. Nice little jacket hook here. Screen continues to be pretty fast. Good size. A lot. Pretty big bezels, but nice.
Also, this footwell is really deep. We'll see when I lay out, but it goes back very far. Kind of surprisingly far, actually.
But then we also get plenty of, barely the footwell for the shoes. I can't even reach.
So the tray table is one solid piece that you pull out, and then it pulls down. It's nice, it's quite large, enough space for food, pretty big laptop. I measured it to be about 2 of my hand widths up and down, and then 3 left and right, for what that's worth. Doesn't go left and right, doesn't go up and down, but that's not a huge complaint. I've also seen how people will set up the tray table like this to get a little bit more privacy. So it's not really a pod, because if I lean backwards, my head is exposed, but it gives you a little bit more privacy, at least the perception of privacy, than you would normally, and it's still way better than the ones that have aisle access. On the right of the seat is a little storage area for some small things. I have my personal headphones here. You can store a little bit. Right above it is the IFE remote, which is convenient place, so you don't have to lean forward to change the volume or anything. Then you have the seat controls, which do all the normal lean up, lean down, lay flat, but there's also a massaging function, which I did try. It was pretty nice, but you didn't really feel much. On the front of the console is the universal plug, so that's pretty useful. There's the headphone adapter for airplanes, and then this little thing, which I think is for like an N64, don't know what that is. And below that it's a water bottle holder, which was super useful. When pulling out the IFE remote, you get access to a little screen, which actually is pretty useful for navigating around, and it's pretty quick. It controls the actual IFE screen pretty well, and the screen moves pretty quick, it's pretty responsive, and actually had a lot of movies, good TV shows, good mapping, overall pretty solid IFE system. So just gonna look at the bedding. So this is the cushion / mattress. You can use it as a cushion for your legs, for your back, when it's rolled up, and when you unroll it, it is the mattress for the bed. Got the pillow, pretty nice, as Point Sky UK says, fluffy, and then a nice little blanket. Seems pretty warm. I don't think I'm gonna need the warmth, but it seems pretty warm. I really like to give you a mattress pad that's also a pillow, so you can actually use it and not just have it take up space, which I didn't realize until right now, 20 minutes in the flight. Okay, that's actually a really nice lumbar support. So I'm gonna do a little amenity kit review. Teresa Helbig. So we have hand cream, earplugs, pretty nice looking eye mask. I lost mine recently, so this will be very nice. Socks, I guess, or like stockings, but socks. Lip balm, also very nice to have. Smells really good, actually. And finally, a little toothbrush and toothpaste. Socks are a nice touch. And with that, it was time to eat and have a glass of wine. Before takeoff, the crew came by to get our orders for food.
All right. My name is Adrian. I'm the cabin manager. Welcome
Okay,
on board.
perfect.
Is everything okay in your seats?
At the seat was the extensive wine menu and all of the food options for today's flight. Pause if you want to see the wine or any of the food options here. I started with the roasted artichokes and a garlic sauce. I was able to use the real cutlery to eat the entire thing. It was delicious. For the wine, I got what I think is called a Gorka Izagirre, but honestly, I have no idea. It was good. I don't know enough about wine to know how good it was. The main was grilled veal ribs with some sort of potato sauce around it. And it was really more just squished together veal ribs. I had heard one of the highlights of Iberia was the food, so I was pretty excited about this. And honestly, it was just okay. Maybe I just don't have business class food palate yet, but nothing special. Regardless, ate every last bite. And then I finished it all off with dessert, a eclair and a dessert wine, which was now my 4th or 5th wine of the flight. Another tip with the seats, they loop around. So they start on the left side, the low letter numbers, and then they go around to the right
for food. So if they run out of something, you're more likely to be, if you're into whatever it was, J, than into A. I got in last night to Madrid at like 1:30. My flight was 2 hours delayed, so did not get a lot of sleep. So I will definitely appreciate a nice little nap. Though it is pretty hot on the plane currently, so I'm all set up in the bed, and it's pretty nice. Lots of space on the shoulders. The footwell is, I mean, it's a little narrow. So I'm 5'10", 5'11", and you could probably be 6 foot, 6'1", and have plenty of space. I think then you'd feel like the footwell's a little narrow. Because it's open though, in theory you could have your leg out or something, but if it feels less cramped because it's open. So I think this is pretty comfortable. So I'm gonna finish watching Challengers and then close my eyes. So see you in a few hours. So I got pretty comfortable sleep. I wouldn't say it's a lot of sleep, maybe I got like 20-30 minutes. A little bit of turbulence, and I'm actually a pretty anxious flyer, which you wouldn't know until this part of the video. So when it gets turbulent, heart starts racing, it's harder to sleep, but very comfortable, extremely comfortable setup. The mattress pad is very useful. It's just like a very cozy setup. Also because there's like space in the footwell, like you don't feel claustrophobic. So overall very comfortable. Then about an hour and a half before landing, they came by with the, I don't know what meal you would call it, mid-afternoon or evening, depending on which time zone, but like a mid-afternoon snack. Not bad, got the tortilla. One thing I will say, I don't take my camera into the bathroom. I think that's weird. I don't know why people review bathrooms like they're all the same on planes unless there's a shower. Both of the business class bathrooms have been pretty dirty. I mean, it's not disgusting, but like, it's worth noting. So you ever had the context that I'm kind of an anxious flyer, but I want to give the other context. This is only my second business class flight I've been on. This is the first that I've actually got for myself, that I bought, redeemed for myself. And that's all to say that like I'm not a professional business class reviewer, so this is just me as a normal person. And I would say the experience has been really comfortable and is so much better than being in economy. But I watch a lot of videos of people that go on all the different business classes, and there's obviously a different tier, which is not to say bad experience by any means. It was great. Food was good, comfortable bed, good TV, like everything you need.
So then the question becomes, was it good for the price? Through my Chase Sapphire Preferred, I paid 34,000 points plus $153 in taxes and fees. If you use those 34,000 points on the Chase Travel Portal, it would get you $425. That's because each point on the Chase Travel Portal is worth 1.25 cents. Now, if you take that $425 you would get for the travel portal plus the $153 I paid in fees, that basically means this flight cost me $578 with the points that I spent for it. Cash prices vary depending on how far out you're buying, but they range from about $2,500 to $5,000 or $6,000. I'm not sure it's even worth $2,500, but it's definitely not worth $5,000 or $6,000. So if you can get it as a redemption, I'd recommend that, but I wouldn't recommend paying the cash fare. Personally, I'll always check to see if there is a points deal available because it was a pretty nice experience. If you like flying videos, travel videos, or even archaeology videos, make sure to subscribe to the channel and catch what it comes out next time. See you then.